Hello friends, happy Wednesday. Welcome back into the GoldenTee Lounge. Kevin Lindsay here. Time to take a look at this week's event. So whether you're playing on a 2022 Home Edition, 2022 Live, or a 2022 PGA Tour game, you will be playing in this week's To the Right event. Every green is going to be pointed to the right. If you did not get a chance to join us this past weekend in Nashville for the Music City Madness Tournament, make sure you are going to GoldenTee.com, GoldenTee on social media, and checking out all the coverage from the photos to the stories, the live streams from this weekend. 199 paid players in the main event on Saturday, over 210 throughout the Thursday and Friday events. Of course, it's Nashville, or Nash Vegas as people like to call it. A wonderful town to host a massive GoldenTee tournament. Shout out to Power Events for the running the tournament, TNTs for their hospitality and hosting 250 people throughout Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then, of course, to our own stream team for covering the event all throughout the weekend. And just like that, somehow it's like a month and a half until the next event in South Carolina. So go to PEGTtour.com to check out all the information about the Carolina Clash. Have not made it to that event yet, so looking forward to getting there finally. And we'll have plenty more on that coming in the next few weeks. So this To the Right event should be a fun one for you guys. I say that as I'm about to put it in the water. Hey, look at that. Desert Dirt for the win. Oh, almost had it. This course is a fun throwback. It's got a couple of drivable par 5s, mostly drivable par 4s. You got some tough ones in here, like this one, Jamaica 18. Especially when that pin is on the top side, you got to be careful that you don't do what I did and land on the bottom tier, because it may be a little difficult to get on up there. 20-person contest, so $10 for first place, $6 for second, $3 for third, and then $1 back for fourth. And this is a fun mixture. I played one of these yesterday. Had much different setups than we're seeing today. But that's the fun thing about the selection of holes in this course, is that there is plenty of variety in the holes and when it comes to tee boxes and pins. So you never really know what you're going to get when it comes to these courses. Hole 6 here, Laurel Park, number 5. A real fun one. At this point, I believe this course is 11 years old, which feels very weird to say. This one, the low tee driver, right to left, is great there, but there's going to be times where you're going to have a far right tee box and pin that's going to cause you to use a high tee or a low driver from the right-hand side. Not as graceful as having fairway and rough to just kind of skip it over. Same thing with this hole 2, Sparkling Waters, number 8. Front end pin with a wind blowing to the right, so you're going to have to use some high tee 5 wood action. I probably hit it a little bit harder than I needed. But again, I'd much rather have a long distance putt for eagle, in this case 68 feet, versus having a shot that ends up in the water and then I'm chipping in for birdie and putting for par. Juniper Falls, number 8. This is another tough one because this tee can give you, you can look at it, it's a massive tee box. There's so many spots that you can get placed on. This one's not too bad because we have a clear area around the left-hand side of the rocks, the mountain here, but the pin is also on the left-hand side, which you don't always see. So I'm going to take full advantage of the fact that this is an easy look and hopefully walk away with an easy eagle here. If you have not updated your GoldenTee Home Edition from 2021 or 2020 or 2019, and you want to get in on the weekly events here for prizes, GoldenTee.com/home. Get your update order today. That link will take you directly to the update page. You just put in your 6-digit cabinet ID. The system will tell you how much it is to update your game, and then within a very short amount of time, you will have access to all the new courses, the ones that have already been released, the time-release ones still to come over the next 6 months, and then all of these weekly events, and of course, invitationals to play against your friends. So, plenty of reasons to get that update if you've not done so yet already. And if you're at a commercial location or your favorite watering hole, Buffalo Wild Wings, Hooters, Fridays, whatever the case may be, if they don't have an updated game, GoldenTee.com/locations to find a 2022 PGA Tour or GoldenTee Live game and get in on the newest action, the newest courses. Hole 10, Indigo Mound 13. This is a fun one because when I played yesterday, I did a high tee 10.5 degree driver, A2, blew it right on the green. This one, I'm actually going to go medium tee. It's only 351, so I don't want to absolutely crush the ball. It's a little bit harder than I wanted to do, but I at least want to get on the green because this hole is pretty drivable, not always the case. So whenever there's a pretty simplistic or an easier look at it, I always want to go for it. As long as you're long on that hole and not short, you should be okay. Because if you're short, you're going in the water because of that massive up 10 hill. If you go long, you might have an eagle chip and at worst a birdie putt. Oakwood Hills, number 5, another very easy hole, but if you get too cute with it, you can put it in the water. Just got to be careful with it. Another hole that I love, but I also love to hate, is Hidden Temple, hole 6. I also love to hate it because I have a good game going on and I don't want to screw it up. This one, you can go through this area here. I've never had good luck with that, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit a high tee 6 wood. Hopefully to funnel it between this big tree trunk and the tree branches. And of course, watching out for that big old temple head. Because the wind's blowing 9 to the left, at least in the particular setup I'm in, I'm going to have a little chip off the rocks, off the path. That's okay. If we get the chip, great. If not, no big deal. It is what it is. Moving on to hole 13, Grand Teton, number 5. This is another one. It's so fun. It's such a short shot. But in this instance, instead of high teeing it, because there's a 13-mile-an-hour wind, I'm just going to throw out a 5 wood. Honestly, after I hit it, I probably could have gotten away with a 3 wood. But whenever I seem to do stuff like that, I overhit it. So I'm happy to put in for an eagle here. Now, of course, because I made one mistake and I didn't make that chip, I knew that Jeff Lannon was going to get me because he's got shot points. But let's see if we can make some magic happen over the next couple of holes. Next one, another throwback, Beales Creek, number 5. This one, I'm just going to hit a stupid high 3 wood. Probably should have went with the 5. I was very fortunate to avoid the top of the tree branches there. And then I missed the chip again. So, any chance I had of a good-ish game kind of went out the window there, but that's all right. That's what makes these events fun, is you can play a handful of them throughout the day, every day, until the next week. Then you get to Great Wall 15, which is hole 15 in this week's event. It's called the Great Wall for a reason because there's a giant wall here. And thank God there's golden tees that you can set high, because when there was not tees, this hole was very hard. It is still difficult. Not a difficult setup because you got a middle pin, but you have a wind blowing to the right, and you're trying to avoid the sand and the junk. So I'm going to just go ahead and put bite on here because I'm going to crush this as hard as I can to avoid that sticky sand, and I just want to bite it and have a putt for eagle. And then we've got a couple of fun holes coming up to round out 16, 17, and 18. Rattlesnake Ridge, number 3, another drivable par 5. This one, a little bit tougher look than I've probably had in a long time. I'm going to go ahead and actually hit 10.5 degree driver high. Because it's 10 mile an hour or 12 mile an hour to the left, I'm going to kick it a little bit to the right. This actually was actually pretty great. I was hoping to hit the far part of the green, but anytime you can put in 15 feet for a double eagle, I will be thrilled with it. And then we get to hole 17 of this week's event to the right. It is Desert Valley 17. A par 4, drivable par 4, that can get a little tricky, especially with this the setup here. You don't want to necessarily soft a 6-wood. You really got to be careful with the 8-wood here, but I think we're going to hit it anyways. I'm going to hit a high T 8-wood. I'm not going to crush it, but I'm not going to short it. Or, in this case, I'll short it. I just didn't have a lot of good options there. That's all right. All right, then we get to hole 18, Ryland 15. Man, this look was shut down for me. I was hoping to have another drivable par 5 to try to make up some stuff here. I also barely missed that tower. Now I'm going to do a little 6-iron with roll. Get a double eagle here. I'm good with that. Come on, go left. Oh, all right, we'll take shot points. But there you have it. This week's home and commercial event, greens to the right. Thanks for joining me here in the lounge. We'll have more videos all week long. We've got Freaky Friday preview coming up tomorrow and a handful of other ones. So GoldenTee.com, GoldenTee on social media. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys next time.